Three, two, one. What's up, guys? Jerem Dastrup here from Dental Intelligence, and coming to you once again with a good friend and colleague of mine, Kiera Dent from the Dental A-Team. We just absolutely love her and what her company is doing right now in the dental space. Sure appreciate the value that she constantly is adding. In fact, if you guys haven't already, definitely check her out on social media, the Dental A-Team. Follow her. They're always putting out great content, lots of fun. And gosh, that group of girls is changing the world one practice at a time. So, and I'm excited to be with her again today as we're diving into the devil in the details with reports. And I know that she's got some great content to share with each and every one of you. So get out your notepad, turn up the volume, sit back and enjoy the amazing value that Kiera is going to add to us today.
Oh, Darren, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. It always makes me so happy. I'm like, no, just keep talking, Jerem. I love listening to you. I love the energy you bring. You've been such a great friend and mentor. And guys, I'm so excited to be here, just appreciative of this opportunity. So let's dive in. Let's talk about the devil in the details. Let's get this started, shall we?
Cool.
I think we should. Okay, so I call this devil in the details because I often have found that just reports, and especially in billing, is where the devil lies in practices. It's those like secret little nooks and crannies that we really don't want to think about. But if you can learn how to do them really simply and easily, you're not going to be scared of them, and you'll actually be able to get more profitability, more efficiency, and everyone's going to win. So I am Kiera Dent, like Jerem said. I love cotton candy anything, and my last name really is Dent. So often I get asked if that's a stage name, and then I'm told how convenient that my last name really is Dent. I know it is super convenient. I love dentistry. I think we are in truly the best profession we could ever ask to be in. We get to give back to others. And I have been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, a biller, a scheduler, an office manager, a regional manager. I taught at Midwestern University for 3 years at their dental college. We coach over 165 practices across the nation. We travel to your practice. We coach virtually. And then we also have the Dental A-Team podcast. And I share that with you because often when I listen to presentations, I want to know, like, do people really understand my life? Have they actually walked in my shoes? And the answer is yes. Like, yes, I have. I know how much of a pain it is to have to hire and fire. I know how hard it is to get a billing protocol in place. I know how scary it is not to even understand what half these words mean. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to know that. Grab my pen. Okay. That was me. We took our first practice that I was an owner in from 500,000 to 2.4 million in 9 months and opened our second location with a brand new grad out of college. And I wondered if that was just one practice or could we repeat this over and over and over again? And the good news is we have found with the systems behind the scenes, we can reproduce these same results for practice after practice after practice. And so I want to share with you guys some simple little devil in the details, specifically for Open Dental. So here is the Open Dental reports. You guys should know this. This is in your software, and I'm going to pull some screenshots specifically for you. So we're gonna hit a lot of these today. I'm going to show you 3 specific ones where the devil tends to hang out in those details that you can lose a lot of opportunity if you just knew where to look. So just know this is go to this tab and, like, for fun, docs, just click on a lot of these and see what they even are. I mean, route slips, you can print them here. Your aging, claims not sent, your outstanding insurance claims, procedures not billed to insurance, your write-offs, your payment plans. Over here, your new patients. Those are my main ones that I'm constantly looking at. The treatment finder down here, other great opportunities. So, like, hang out in this zone. There's a lot for you. And Open Dental makes your report super simple. It's not like Dentrix or EgoSoft where I feel like it's the hidden treasure trove and you never know which button to click on. I'm a Dentrix guru, but gosh, Open Dental is way easier. So the first report is the aging. So aging of AR. This is where your insurance and your patient collections hang out. And it's a great place for you to just dive into it. We talked about it really in depth on another webinar. And I talked about how just getting a process in place. I went through a whole billing protocol, and this is where you dive into it. So the patient aging, I always like to work on that. That's like your over-the-counter collections. That's where the insurance claim came through and paid, but they didn't actually, the patient maybe didn't pay or insurance denied something that the patient's responsible for. So I like that to happen on Tuesdays and then working on the insurance on Thursdays. Okay, so that's my 10 to go to plan. And then you report at the end of the month. And so what I mean by that is this is the aging of AR. This is the report that I'm talking about. So it's on the report screen, click on aging of accounts. This is how I set it up. Any balance, grouped by family, and then you can have any of these. You can include an active, an archive patients. You can have the billing types right here. I mentioned before, and I'll mention it today. This is where you create your ortho billing accounts, your membership accounts. You can actually create those as billing types. If those are sitting here in billing types, then we actually don't include those because we can pull that out and it's not going to throw off our AR. Often that can get really clunky in offices that have a lower collections. I'm like, hey, why are your collections so low? Or why do you have so much in your AR? And they're like, oh, we have ortho. And I'm like, oh, how much is ortho? And they're like, we don't know, probably like 50,000. I'm like, okay, right there, that's the devil in the details. So creating a billing type for that ortho account or for that membership plan is going to allow you to not just assume and guess, but actually know how much is sitting in there due to that AR. So then you're going to click OK. You can do over 30 or over 60 or over 90 if you're specifically focusing on. Me personally, I like to run the whole thing. So right here, this is what the report is going to look like. So when you run that report, here it is. And what you can see is here's your 0 to 30. This number will always be high. If you're doing dentistry, that number should be high. That's all the production we did this month. We send it out to insurance. Typically takes 30 days to get paid. 31 to 60, we do not want that high. 60 to 60 or 61 to 90, again, don't want to high. And especially our over 90, we really want to watch because that's the hot water where insurances won't pay afterwards after a certain amount of time. So you can see in this practice, they have over 16,000 hanging out in over 90. Now, when we look at this total column, we have 28,000 in this example of this practice. Here is the write-off estimate. So what we're estimating insurance to write off. Then we have our insurance estimate of how much we're expecting from insurance. And then we have our patient. If you just looked at this quickly, Jerem, looking at this based on saying, here's what insurance is estimated and what patients are estimated, could you guess if this where this practice is having a problem with their collections? I can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Looks like it's with the patient.
Totally. You're exactly right. And because you see, we only have 2,000 hanging out with insurance and we have 25,000 of patient portions on this. So instantly, without even knowing this practice, not even going to them, we can tell they have an over-the-counter collection problem most likely. Like their team's probably afraid to ask for money just by looking at this. So we would need to collect this patient. Patient portion should always be really low because we can collect that. We can get that when they're in the practice. Insurance is the tricky one that we have to battle and get our appeals back from. But patient portion should always be lower in any practice. And so what you do then is now we know where to start calling. So I can look at clinic A patient and see they have $1,000 of over 90, and that's patient. So I need to get on the phone and call this patient, have a collection protocol in place. What has happened with this patient? We should know because we know that's a patient amount. Have we texted them? Have we sent anything to them? This is where you can find it really easily on your aging report. So I like every single one of these accounts to be highlighted every single month and discussed. So that way you know exactly where it's at and what's going on with every single account. So this is a spreadsheet that you can then pull all that aging. So we literally take this, you can export it into Excel and upload it into this one. So then we highlight, we know this one was confirmed from the office. Then we'd highlight this one, maybe this one's green, maybe this one would be yellow, this one's purple. So that way we can literally see what's going on and at what number of statement they're on. If your practice has never done this, fantastic. Start with statement number 1 and just start the process. We send 1 statement, then 2 statements, then we call, we send a letter, and then they're off to collections. So then we can literally see every single month, month over month over month, what statement are they on. You can also you can look in the ledger and it should tell you how many statements have been sent. So that's number 1. Now the next report for you guys to run is claims not sent. And claims not sent is a really easy report. It literally looks like this. And these are the claims that got stuck from the night before that didn't actually send out. So what happens here is we can do filters up here and then it will send and tell us. A pro tip on this one, I like to always do this from the beginning of the year. So we're in October right now. I would run it from January because even though I'm running this every day, for some reason, when I go back to the beginning of the year, I'll pull weird claims that are from January or May. And so always put this number. You can run it for the daily, but then I always like to go back to the beginning of the year and just make sure I'm not missing any claims that we've done this year to date. And then what you'll see here, all these claims did not go, and you can actually send all those claims out. So making sure you run this report every single day. I like it to be done in the morning. So we'll run it for yesterday, today, check all those claims, send them off, And then at the end of the week is when you can run for the entire year to make sure that none of these claims are ever getting stuck, not being sent off, because that's just money sitting there because they got stuck in la la land and didn't send out. Here it is, claims not sent. You guys can see this one had $120 that did not get sent out. Super simple, send it on over. Some of these might be secondary claims. And so if they're secondary, you'll wanna watch those because often primary does come in and pay your primary insurance, and we need to send those secondaries off as well. So keeping on top of that is really going to help you guys in that area. And then the last report is the procedures not billed to insurance. I will tell you, this is a gold mine of information. This is an area that you guys are going to love. And similar to the last one, up here you guys can see the range that you can put in. Again, I always do this going to the beginning of the year and running to today. All these procedures, like look how sad for this poor practice. They have all those procedures that they did that never got assigned to a claim. So it's procedures not billed to insurance. So these are just all hanging out and they've been sitting there, and this practice is losing that money. I have found over 50,000, 100,000, 45,000 just sitting in procedures not billed. Now, sometimes on here, you're going to come into like a fluoride, or you'll come into maybe it was an exam that we weren't billing. That's fine. Just go to that procedure and check it as do not bill to insurance. So it'll clean up off of this list, but it'll be pulling through all those procedures that have not been billed to insurance. You might intentionally do it. And if you do, just go check the box and say you didn't want it billed to insurance, and it will take it off of this list. But you always want to run these quick procedures not billed to insurance. It's a gold mine of information for you guys. So I say that complexity is the enemy of execution. And I truly do believe that these are three simple ways to find that devil in the details, to like clean it up, specifically of how to run it, how to look for it, and what you're even looking for and what these reports mean. I know I did not know half of these reports even existed. And most of the practices I work with don't know that a lot of these reports exist. So that's what I say. So Jerem, I did that kind of quick for you. What questions do you have on that?
Well, let's recap the three really quick.
Yeah.
And just like hit it for like 20 seconds, each one of those, and what the problem is, like what, and then the report that you would recommend them doing with the solution, just real quick.
You got it. Okay. So we have our aging report. The problem on that is knowing all of our accounts of if it's insurance or if it's patient portion. That's showing us where the money's at and how to collect it. And then if it's 30, 60, 90 days overdue, meaning did we do it 30 days ago, 60 days ago, or 90 days ago, and where is that money sitting? So that's the problem. And the solution is you run that report, you check it every Tuesday or Thursday, make sure you follow up with patients or insurance on those given days. And that way you're constantly making sure that those accounts are worked to get more money back into the practice versus just letting it sit out there and we ultimately end up losing it. So that's number one. Number two is, I gotta think back, it was the claims not sent. So claims not sent, the problem is that we did the work and all we have to do is make sure our computers send the post office mail out every day, and they sometimes don't get sent. So you know how you stick it into your mailbox and the mailman doesn't pick it up? Well, that's like that report. It just didn't send. So those can just be sitting out there, and then we're not getting paid back from insurances. And therefore, this claims not sent is going to fix that problem. It's a simple fix to make sure we're constantly sending those as quickly as possible. So money's always coming back into our practice as quickly as possible. So that's number two.
How often? How often?
I do that every single day. So every morning, you're going to do it every morning for the day before. And then every Friday, you'll run it for the entire year just to make sure nothing got stuck in there. We're always looking back to the beginning of the year. Cool. So that's number two. And the third one is your procedures not attached. And that is where we did work. So Jerem comes in and we did a filling, a buildup, a crown, and we took some x-rays, okay? So what happened was the filling and the buildup and the crown all sent, but the x-rays didn't. They got stuck out there. It never got attached. So that we did the work, we actually did that treatment, but it didn't send. Or maybe the x-ray, the buildup, and the crown all sent, but the filling, we didn't get that one sent out. For some reason, it didn't attach. And this can happen. We get quick, we thought we attached it and it just didn't attach. So his filling's hanging out and it never got attached to a claim. And so we're losing the money on that procedure. So what we need to do is we need to actually send it on a claim so we can get it paid. So you're running that report at least once a week on Fridays. You can run it every day. Again, I like that one to go out on Fridays and run it back for the whole year just to make sure. And that one's a real easy report. On here, you can just say at the bottom, let me actually go back here. Okay, I lied. Right down here at the bottom of the screen, I took a picture of it, so I apologize it's not there. Right down here, it says like send all of them. So you can actually just send all these. Same thing with the claims. They're really simple because you run the report, and then at the bottom of it, it's going to say like, just send the report. So you don't have to really go back. You can, but a lot of these, it will just build the claim for you and send it right away for you. So that would be a great way to just send all these claims, attach them to a claim, and get them paid for.
Awesome. That was perfect.
There you go.
And how,
there it is, guys. Not hard.
How often do you find that the office isn't doing this? I mean, do most offices have some type of protocol or system to where that's one of the first things they're doing when they get into the practice, in the morning, and maybe after a morning huddle or before a morning huddle? Like, what kind of walk us through what that morning would look like?
Sure. Yeah. So I will say, to answer your question, most offices aren't doing this, which is why I brought it up, because it's so simple. And yeah, I think it's often overlooked. A lot of them are like maybe checking the claims not sent, but they don't go back to the beginning of the year. So there's claims hanging out. Maybe they didn't even know the procedures not attached is even a report to run. And so they're not even looking for it. And guys, that's in every software. So you can find this in every software. But what a normal day would look like, and it can be the office manager, it can be the biller, it can even be your TC. There's lots of people that could do it. What I like is at the end of the day, we batch all of our claims and we send them. You can also batch all your claims and not send, and then first thing in the morning, you send all your claims. Me personally, I like to just clean up my day, send them that night so I can run the claims not sent report in the morning. Check that, then I'm going to send all the claims. Some of them maybe didn't get an x-ray, maybe they don't have a narrative, whatever it is, that's how that's going to run. Then I also like at the beginning of the month, you're going to run your AR report. So that way every Tuesday, Thursday, you're ready to go. You just pick up the phone, you send the statements, you call the insurance companies, you're working your patient AR on Tuesday, your insurance AR on Thursday. So that way you're always working those AR reports. And then procedures not billed would come on Friday. So on Friday, we're going to review our AR report, see where it's at, send in our KPI, look to see how much should we get collected back in, how much is adding to our AR report. We're going to check to make sure the claims sent for the entire year, all of our claims not sent have been sent out. And then also on Friday, we're going to check the procedures not billed to insurance. All of those have actually been sent out to make sure none of those things are missing. Make sure, and that's how it would really look in a practice. So right after morning huddle, check the claims not sent. And then on Tuesdays, Thursdays, you'll do your patient or insurance AR. And then on Friday, run all of those for the entire year and just see where you're at.
Gosh, I absolutely love it. I hope that all of you viewers are really eating this up. You can feel, you can sense, obviously the passion that Kiera has, but I love her expertise. This is an individual that has gone through trial and error, right? Has failed numerous times, learned and grown, and she is offering all of this content for free. So if you're sitting in your seat right now, if you're in your practice right now, you're like, that is just a massive task that I'm going to have to take on, and I just don't have the energy. I've got kids I got to worry about. I've got all the other responsibilities. Take a big, deep breath. Reach out to the Dental A team. Reach out to Dental Intelligence. If we can help you at least start the process, we will, because we know that once it gets started and the disciplines or the process has been implemented in the practice, that now you're collecting. Now there's efficiency. Now you don't feel like there's this big monkey that's on your back that you can't shake. He's gone. Monkey's gone. Mm-hmm. And that's going to feel so, so good. So Kiera, thank you so much to you and the Dental A team for everything that you do and for offering your services and, of course, these processes.
Totally. I think when I was as an office manager, I wanted somebody to help me because I didn't know how to do this. I knew I needed to do it, but I didn't know how to do it. And so that's actually why we built the Dental A team, was because for those people sitting there like, holy moly. And these are simple. And you guys, there's so many other little spots. That's why I showed you that whole standard screen. So if you're already doing these and rocking it out, go click on every single one of those other reports and make sure you're utilizing those. Like, that's where the devil lies, is in those small little details that we're not tracking, we're not following up on, and staying consistent with it. You can do this once every so many months, but staying consistent is where I believe the discipline leads to great rewards. So thank you, Jerem. Thank you for dental intelligence and being a part of this. You guys, I love dentistry. I love helping offices expand what they believe is possible in themselves and in their practice. So if we can help in any way, you guys have coupon codes Intel20 that'll give you guys 20% off anything. And always, like, reach out. Even if you're like, hey, I heard this, how do you do it? Or, you know what, I'm guessing this is something, like, do you know how to do it? I'm not a dentist. I'm not scary. Also use dental intelligence. You guys, their product helps you with so many of these reports that you can run, and then you can compare it in your software and use your software. So, like, mix the two, marry the two. This is how you dive in and make sure that you're actually succeeding and thriving versus just surviving.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, thank you again. And to all of our viewers, thank you for taking the time. We hope that you got value there, and definitely keep your eyes open because there's more content headed your way. Make it a great day. We'll see you.